Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here. Today we're going to be talking about something a little different. Most of my videos have been Notion and other skills development, but today we're going to be talking about communities, specifically communities I found through reading books. Turns out there's like a community for everything, and so I have been all over the internet looking for places to spend my time. And so I'm just going to be going over some of the places that I spend the majority of my time, and hopefully you guys can comment down below and tell me if I missed something or there's totally this awesome thing I need to be looking at. And so I'm just going to jump right into it here. So first one, and I'm sure that you have been bombarded with ads for this, so I'm just going to get them out of the way first round, because obviously if everyone's talking about them, there must be some sort of reasoning behind it. So the first one is Skillshare. So Skillshare, it's all over ads for all kinds of productivity YouTube channels and all sorts of things. I have just signed up. I've joined the bandwagon, and I haven't done like a full review yet, but I paid for, I think it was like $99 for the year. And so I'm going to watch Ali Abdaal's videos, and I'm going to try to watch some Adobe graphic design ones. And so I hope it's worth it. I probably should have just done the monthly one and says test the waters, but whatever. So I have signed up for this, and so far I'm liking it. It's a little more structured than YouTube. It feels more like a class. So I took like a journaling one. It was really fun. So that is one. The second one we'll talk about is Brilliant. This one's another one that's been sponsoring the crap out of things all over the YouTube, or maybe it's just me that this one's like always popping up. But this one I really want to try. I have done some of their free tutorials online, like the Python one, and then once it like stopped being free, I kind of fell off. But I totally want to try it again. I was doing like this decoding series, which was really fun. So I don't know. I'm definitely, this one's in like my top, like once I finish putting all my money into the other ones, I'll test this one next, is kind of the deal. But so far I've liked it. And they've sponsored some really awesome videos. Like there's this YouTube channel. It's called The Efficient Engineer. Let's see. Here. Great stuff. Great videos. And then the Brilliant has sponsored them. These have like, why get a mechanical engineering degree? You could just watch these videos. So I really enjoy Brilliant, but those are the ones that the ads are all over the place. The next one I want to talk about is Masterclass. Now this one's a little more spendier because it's like famous people or whatever, they can charge more. I've had this one for about a year. It's $180 for the year, but with these types of things you can split it with people. Like I split it with somebody, so it was $90 each, which makes it a little more reasonable, right? What I have definitely liked Masterclasses. I've taken, so here's Robert Iger. I read his book, The Ride of a Lifetime. So I have watched through some of his lectures here. I've watched CEO of Starbucks. My favorite one right now is Daniel Pink. So I've actually read 2 books by Daniel Pink. So we go in here. Let's go to my library. The first one I read by Daniel Pink was Drive. So that's this guy right here. And then I also read When by Daniel Pink. I didn't read To Sell Is Human, which is, I think was one of his first books. And so it's really weird for me to see him lecturing about sales when his 2 books were, like the 2 books I read were about motivation and the science of timing. So maybe he'll get into that more, but I have been loving his lecture here. He actually like pulls out a whiteboard and starts like writing on it. So I appreciate that, because the other videos, like Bob Iger, he just kind of like talks and says like very vague ideas, which sounds mean because I have like read his book and I'm watching his lecture here, but I don't know, like I don't feel like I'm grasping a lot, and I didn't really like his book that much either. So I don't know, maybe he needs to be more specific, but I really like Daniel Pink. I also watched this one, I don't know if maybe it's my recently viewed. I wanted to finish the Malcolm Gladwell because I read his book Outliers. It was like an advertising one that was really good. And it had Jeff Goodby, and he was absolutely hilarious. So I'm definitely loving Masterclass, and we'll definitely renew that one for the next year. So maybe I'll do a more extensive review on Masterclass. Again, I watched like a Margaret Atwood. She's the one who made Handmaid's Tale on there. So that was fun too. I don't know if it's like totally worth it yet, but it's worth it enough to do it another year. It's just hard to set aside time when I have so many options to either watch YouTube videos, Skillshare, Brilliant, Masterclass. There's so many options. So I just want to kind of show you some of the things that I found in the last year and have been kind of looking into. The next one I'm going to talk about is Udemy. This one I actually use pretty religiously for technical skill building, like VBA and macros. I've been taking this class, and I do like 10 minutes a day. So I'll pick one class and really focus on it. So I really have been enjoying Udemy as well. Their classes vary. You wait for them to go on sale, and they'll be like $11.99 flash sale or something. That way you don't pay like the $100 that they're like asking up front. So you have to be careful with this one. Another one would be Coursera, which I haven't tried yet, but it's on the list. Okay, and these are totally out of order. Next one, I read this book called Roadmap. So let me pull it up on here. This book here. Phenomenal book. It had lots of writing. I talked about it in my book reviews. I think it was 2 videos ago. And you basically like mash your interests together and try to build a roadmap for yourself. So I took lots of notes. I put all my things that spoke to me, combined them to mash your interests and try to figure it out. So my top 3 were building things would be my foundation, and then my 2 interests would be science and tech. So that's my job that I have right now at JDunn. And then my like kind of backup roadmap would be like being creative, film, and education. So it's kind of like my YouTube channel, you know. And then lastly, I'm building things, paper and design. I thought about making my own planner or my own book. And that would be something that would be really fun to do. So lots of notes on this one. Loved it. They even gave you like little ideas. At the end, they gave you like 4 projects to work on, which I appreciate, you know. But it was one of those books where you draw and you write, and you could just fill it up. You know, it was a really interactive book, so I really highly recommend that book. But what I found out is that Road Trip Nation is actually like a community where you can go online and watch documentaries of people who are living the lives that you want to live, right? So if you like science and tech, so you take your roadmap quiz or whatever, and then you go explore, because they have what they do is they literally drove around the country and interviewed people from all kinds of different jobs and then tagged them as like tech, science mashed together, or science and art mashed together, and what job that would look like. And you can literally read what is their educational background, how many years did they go to school, what was their story, and then watch the full interview and say, does that seem like something I would want to do with my life? So I'm going to dive more into this, but let me tell you, I'm all about this Road Trip Nation, and I wish I had this going into college, because that would have made things a little easier, except for I feel like I'm on the right track, but still. Totally recommend. Dive in here, documentaries, career exploration. It's really like, it's just so much stuff. I'm really excited to kind of dive in here and watch everything. So that's another kind of like community-based place where you can go. And I think this is free. I haven't had anything try to like make me pay. Besides, you know, you had to buy the book. So okay, so this next one is called The Putty Tribe. This is from the book I read called How to Be Everything, which I also took a good amount of notes on, and I pasted in some clips and things. It was a really good read. I read it in like a day. I don't know why this seems so unprofessional. This like little video like throws me off. It's like, come on. I mean, how hard is it to buy like a ring light and just chill in your room? Anyway, this is The Putty Tribe, and I think they're changing their name. And what they do is it's multi-potentialites, which I kind of talked about in my last book review. It's this idea, people who like vastly different interests, and it's kind of the same idea as this Road Trip Nation. So you're like mashing interests together, and you can either do that as you have one job where that's you make your bread and butter, and then on your free time you spend doing your hobbies and you're not worried about your hobbies making you money. Or you could turn your hobbies into your career and do it that way. So there's it kind of expands on Road Trip Nation. So there's lots of people in here. You have to like get on a waiting list. I always get on the waiting list. I forget to look at it the day she sends me the thing, and I'll get on there eventually. So I haven't really explored around too much, but it's out there and it's a place where you could go if you want to meet other people who have similar interests. Okay, next one. This is the year 0. So this is August Bradley's community. I have not signed up for it. I think it's $10 a month. Yeah, here it is. He has a series of awesome Notion videos, and I want to go through them and kind of incorporate them and build out my Notion to kind of match his like second brain. I have not done that yet. I feel like I'm just all over the place, and I end up just reading a book. Like I have all these great ideas, and then I can't help myself and just start reading another book. I'm actually just started a few other books, so I'll just mention them now. The first book that I'm loving is this one right here. It's called 7.5 Lessons About the Brain. So this is basically a neurology book. Very excited. I'm about 30 pages in. It kind of reminds me of the 7 Brief Lessons of Physics. I love it when they do the lessons. So that is one that I'm reading. I'm about halfway through Upstream, which I actually read Dan Heath's other book called Switch, which I have it here, this one. And I took a lot of notes in it. It like linked to a lot of other books, and I really enjoyed. They like do a really good job summarizing as they go, so you kind of remember what you were reading. So that one's been really good. And then this last one I kind of picked up off at Barnes & Noble. It's called The 99% Invisible City. So it's all about weird things in the city that have unique purposes that you didn't know had purpose. Like graffiti, like the spray paint on the sidewalks or on the roads, it like has a purpose, and then they tell you what each color means and stuff. It's kind of random, but it feels kind of like a treasure hunt. And I'm in construction, so it all makes sense to me. I always love learning more about construction. So there we have it. Those are the places where I spend the majority of my time. So that would be Udemy, Skillshare, Masterclass, Road Trip Nation. Putty Tribe is out there. Need to try August Bradley's new thing, and Brilliant. Now I want to just pick one and focus, but I just can't help myself. I just want to put all my hands in all the pots, So I really need to get on it and focus on one thing and just, instead of spreading myself too thin. But these are some examples of things that I found reading books that I did not know about, and I wish I knew about a few months ago, even a year ago, maybe even when I was in high school. So let me know if you guys have any other places that are really awesome and that I should spend my time working on or looking at. And I'll see you guys next time.